Hi, welcome to the dumps, the place for all your sign needs.
I'm tired of trying to segregate, integrate, and masturbate anymore.
What the fuck? Okay, okay, yeah. So anyway, I have here with me Dayness, famous letterbox user, who has seen Revenge of the Fallen how many times?
Like 29, I'm pretty sure last time I checked.
Even outside of letterbox, probably even more.
Yeah, probably way more.
Ugh, oh man. So anyway, if you might be wondering why the movies chosen are that, because if you look at this episode title and you're wondering, huh? Okay, so you have an Edgar Wright horror movie, like the one everyone doesn't like, and then you have Ralph Bakshi's Coonskin. So, to give a brief explanation is, me and, actually a person who's been on the podcast before, Brian, did a Bakshi binge back in, like, I think March, or was it sometime during, like, May.
Yeah, it was like March or April.
Yeah, and we had a jolly good time going through every single Bakshi project. Well, not every single one, and we didn't do the shorts, but that's just out of the picture. We did watch the Dr. Seuss short he made, so that's funny. And yeah, he's a if you don't know who Ralph Bakshi is, he was basically considered like the first adult animated like director. And he's very experimental and very weird.
Very.
Oh, very weird. You know, most people, they either like know him for like Fritz the Cat, but they don't know who the name of the director is. And then there's like the passionate fans out there for it, but you know,
Yeah,
no
like
one,
me.
no one really talks about Bakshi. Even in the server where me, Brian, and all the rest of the folks there, everyone else didn't care about Bakshi. Us two, like, we bonded over it. And then, you know, months later, some people started to watch Bakshi movies. Movie Dude watched a couple of them. Silvermania watched a couple of them. And then eventually, Dayness did.
Yeah, just recently, actually, like months after.
And the reason that this happened is the strangest thing possible. You know, I'm gonna let you explain it, cause.
So basically, I started naming a cult film called Coonskin. Basically, I think I did it when Silver was watching Fire and Ice for some reason.
I think that's.
So then recently I brought up Coonskin, Suicide Squad, and Sound of Freedom, and Josh was like, "Do it, pussy! You won't watch Coonskin." And what do you know? I watched Coonskin after months, and what a film!
Oh my god! And the strangest part of all this is, everyone's expectation was, Dayness will watch this. He'll like give it like a 5 with heart and move on. But he gave it 10 out of 10 with heart and everything and the whole shebang. And he says I love him. He's like one of my favorite directors now. And he watched like Fritz, Wizards, and even Hey Good Looking. So
I finally watched Hey Good Looking today.
That movie is so fucking stupid. Anyway,
yeah.
That's Ralph Bakshi for you, and why Dayness is here to talk about him. And yeah, the specific one we're choosing is I think his third animated feature, Coonskin.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Coonskin is a movie that actually, if you were to describe the plot about this movie, there's not really a plot because
I don't know if I can describe the plot. I've seen it twice.
The plot, I've seen it twice actually too. So the plot is basically so we're introduced with a guy constantly saying N-word man, N-word man.
Oh yeah.
If you think that sounds weird, just you wait for the rest of the movie, because that's just the beginning.
Oh yeah.
That's the opening credits. And oh man, this movie just keeps going. It really, it's such a jolly time, if you will. So yeah, this is his third anime feature, and it's about dealing with racist ideals, commentary on like how the blacks have been put under, like, I guess, like they're forced to basically live in the middle class or lower class because of their ethnicity, and they constantly talk about it. And there's like a giant big woman, like fucking American.
Oh, Miss America!
Miss
I love Miss America.
And yeah, the movie is basically a bunch of vignettes, like a bunch of different stories that I think it's based on some book. Let me think about this because I remember Ralph Bakshi.
There's a book?
Yeah, this was based on I think an anthology of or like a book about racism. I forget exactly what it was.
Is Miss America in that book, or you don't?
I mean, I wish.
So do I.
But yeah, it's based on the Uncle Remus folk tales, and it's like I guess a satirization of like blaxploitation film genre, and like apparently this is also controversial in terms of it like trying to discuss the Disney film Song of the South too. Apparently that's like what it's trying to
convey, though. Did you say Song of the South?
Yeah, Song of the South.
Oh, I thought you said the Sound of the South. Because I got mixed up with Sound of
Freedom. But yeah, that's the film that Disney doesn't want you to talk about. So we'll not talk about that one. But yeah, basically Coonskin, it's basically your standard Bakshi fare. A ton of satire, a ton of surreal moments, and there's not much of a structure.
It was my first film.
With this one, yeah.
It was my first one I've seen too, with like no expectations. So I was just, I don't know how to explain how I felt the first time I watched it. It was just, it's like a Perry server movie in a way.
It is random. It has no structure.
Yeah, very.
Oh man.
Because from what I heard, you guys are like, it's just boring. It's just about saying racism is bad. So I came in that expect to be really boring. And it was anything but, at least for me, anyways.
I know that you're a big fan of this movie, but this is the first time on the podcast where me and the guests don't agree on something. Basically, I don't think this movie's good. I don't think this is.
I don't think it's good either.
Oh, trust me.
I just fucking adore it.
Trust me. I love Bakshi like a lot, and I appreciate him as a director and as a part of history because he's one of the first to take animation seriously. And if you've seen interviews with him, he has a very clear, I guess, dedication to the art form because he thinks of it as true art and rather than just entertainment, which is what most people saw animation around that time. He took it very seriously. He just did it in the most strange ways possible.
Very.
Because he opened with probably one of the biggest like hits with just Fritz the Cat, a low-budget animated film, and the first X-rated movie, like animated film ever.
Really?
The first X-rated animated film.
I guess that makes sense though. It came out like what, 72?
Yeah, 72, and it made quadruple its budget. I'm pretty sure. So
Damn.
that's insane. It was like if it was modern, like dollars, I think it'd be like around like 400 million, 500 million. It's insane, like how much money it made.
Yeah.
And
do you know how much money This is kind of unrelated, but how much money did Sausage Party make?
Oh yeah.
Because it's kind of like similar. Because like if this came out today, like would it make like a lot of money?
I think Sausage Party was like a big hit because I think it topped it like as like the. Yeah, like the.
Oh really?
Yeah, it topped it as like the highest grossing R-rated animated comedy. It made $141 million on a $19 million budget.
Damn. Yeah. Because like Fritz the Cat would probably make way more money, especially because there's furries. So you know.
Oh hell yeah! See, furry communities. They're in love with Fritz the Cat, probably. I'm just assuming so. Because I rewatched Fritz the Cat because of the bathtub scene. Anyway. So, Coonskin. Like I said, there's no plot, but there's a lot of things happening. That's
a lot of things happening.
You cannot just say it's a movie, because it's not just a movie, it's a bunch of experiences.
It's a movie that's been made, ha 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 ha.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Anyways.
Yeah, Coonskin involves a lot of different things happening. So you have, like... I'm trying to keep track of the plot, because I honestly can't remember it that much.
Yeah.
Because there's the gang, there's the parodies of the Brer Rabbit from Song of the South, which is just a straight up blackface.
Yeah.
And every character.
You have these live action segments too.
Yeah, no, we start off with the song that we all know, the N-word man. We can all recite it together like a bunch of children.
Walk on.
No. See, if you say the N-word on the podcast, Susan will never be able to come back.
I'll get cancer.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, they say the N-word a bunch of times, and then we transition to this like segment where this old man, he's like laughing about these stories he had, because he like goes out with this dude to commit some crimes, this other black dude, and for some reason while they're getting chased, he stops, and then we transition into his stories, which is basically like I guess this movie's equivalent of like Uncle Remus introducing his tales in the book Uncle Remus Tales. So that's fun. That's a weird way of recontextualizing it, but that's funny. And
I love fun.
And we get introduced to Brer Rabbit and his group of gangs, and he's like,
they look like little rabbits too. They look like animals.
Yeah, and there's just
very interesting choice.
There's a very interesting character design choices. If we're gonna talk about character designs,
there's like this one character that looks like a literal bear. Yeah. It's like a person, but it looks like they have like a bear or like a doggish face. It's so weird.
There's like
and then some have like red pupils.
It's weird. Like
they look stoned.
They all look stoned, and it's just like frankly really weird. And to summarize all these gang members, they're all like this crime family or like crime like mob, and they're just like doing a bunch of crimes. They're trying to get into gambling rigs. They're doing a bunch of various things while also commentating on the fact that they're lower class as well. And it's like, okay, I get the point. Like 15 minutes in, but you know, the movie just keeps going, keeps chugging along, because. I swear to God, I can barely remember this movie's plot. I don't know if you can. Cause
so much stuff happens. I wouldn't explain it like in a coherent way, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Just Miss America. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. Well,
that kind of, if I'm being honest, that piqued my interest into the movie.
Oh, it was because of the poster.
Miss America. Yeah, the banner on Letterboxd.
Oh, okay. I see what you were thinking. You were thinking of busting a coonskin. That's why.
Yeah. And it's the only reason why I watch Hey Good Looking, because the same voice actress voices Eva, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
Yeah. And they also voiced Eleanor in Wizards, who is also something else.
You just gotta keep the hot woman voice consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they like go around town and they're like asking people to give them money. Then they go to like a gambling rig, and then they start shooting up the place, and they accidentally start hitting Miss America, and then she like goes into this whole song and dance about how America's dying or some shit, and it's like, okay, most people in the audience are not thinking about what she's saying, but rather looking at her tits, so why should it matter? In fact, I think I oddly kind of have a problem with the characters. They're creative. I think I like the fact that they are trying to parody how like Disney films look, because one of the alternate posters for this movie, you know the Looney Tunes like That's All Folks ending thing. It kind of reflects.
I think so.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also there's a tagline, and they like reflect it by saying "That's all, folks," and it's like, oh, that's cool. And there's like, yeah, basically every black person looks like a stereotypical black person, and I'm not sure how.
Or just a fucking animal.
Yeah.
As like a black person.
So I'm kind of confused on why that was the choice when they're trying to humanize black people by
animals are people too.
Yeah, but by stereotyping them, and it was really weird to consider. Yeah. And I thought about it, and I was like, what? I don't understand. See, this is why Coonskin confuses me. I get why it's fun for people, but I personally just see it as just confusing.
I checked actually. I think it's his second highest rated film on Letterboxd.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's rated higher than Wizards actually, which I consider to be his best. So.
Oh, Wizards is way better than fucking Coonskin.
Yeah.
Even then, Wizards is okay.
And some trivia, by the way, Bakshi actually considered this to be his best film, by the way. Just so you know.
Oh yeah, that's.
So he's with me.
So that's weird, because of all movies, I prefer anything else other than Coonskin.
You prefer Hey Good Looking over this?
Well, no, okay. The two exceptions.
I think that's better than this, but I enjoy it.
Okay, so the three exceptions to me, that are like worse than Coonskin is Hey Good Looking. That one's just straight up bad, like really bad. And then there's Fire and Ice and.
Also, Cool World, which I heard is really bad.
Cool World's. Oh, that one's bad.
I haven't seen it. Maybe I'll see it after this episode.
Oh, and then there's like a fourth one. Cool and the Crazy. Bakshi's only live action movie.
Oh, interesting.
It stars Jared Leto. And Alicia Silverstone, so that's funny. But yeah, the fact that Bakshi considers his best is weird. Because Animat agrees, actually. So,
that it's his best?
Yeah, no, Animat, he said that this is his best film ever. So apparently some people actually do love this movie.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay. So I guess people really love
this handles racism topics better than a certain other movie, which I will not mention the name of because I hate that movie, but I think you know what I'm talking about.
We will not mention the other one that's so popular.
Yeah, it's like Shrek the Third. It doesn't exist.
It does not exist.
Doesn't exist.
Just like how you weren't there for the Note Watch party.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie just kind of it's a thing. I don't know what to think of it because like I know that in my heart I kind of enjoy this, but at the same time, if I can barely remember the plot, why should I like care? Like I get. I don't know.
It's my second time watching it, and I still like really enjoyed it. So I think it's worth a heart for me. An ironic 5 stars.
That's fair.
At least on my scale. On my Xander scale.
Yeah. See, there's like Black Jesus in this, and then the strength to kill the whites, that's an actual line in the movie. But, like, yeah, I get it. I don't care.
I love the clapping scene, by the way. Miss America claps the black person.
Oh, yeah, that was like a fucking weird scene. Oh my god. I'm looking at the plot in Wikipedia just to remember this. Oh my god. Oh my. Oh.
I'll share some trivia, by the way, while we're at it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so basically, did you hear about the rumor that he went to Harlem with a tape recorder and asked people what it's like to be black in America? Because apparently that's not true. But he did...
Okay, what? Look, I've heard, like, Bakshi, like, he sometimes infantilizes stories, but, genuinely, and like, Fritz the Cat, if you notice, when they're, like, in the bar, and, like, Fritz is walking around with the black mob crime boss, and he's trying to get a drink, and he, like, misinterprets everything, like, in the background, there's, like, this really longly drawn-out conversation between two, like, crows, and it sounds like it's an actual conversation, when, it is. That's an actual conversation.
Yeah.
And he, like, video recorded it, so that's funny.
Yeah, he said, on IMDb, it says he used the same method he used for Fritz the Cat, too. And also, he supposedly went to a black school, apparently, and then the principal found out he wasn't black, so they pulled him out of the class.
No, I remember, Bakshi grew up in black communities, which is why he made this movie. He says he felt black or some shit, so that's funny. And, like, I guess that's understandable. If he understands the community, then he would think, yeah, I should make a movie about the black community and their struggles. And he does nail some of the aspects in obvious ways. But
very obvious.
It feels, like, too preachy to me. Because you have, like, scenes where they're taking LSD and they're hooking up with hookers. And I get that's to show the environment that they live in. But it becomes sort of, like, fatigue when you just keep showing that. And it's just sort of, like, just getting desensitized to the violence in the movie. Where it's like, yeah, police are, like, way more meaner to black people than white people. And the white people don't understand them. But you know what? Fritz the Cat, his first movie, already communicated that message better than this film ever could. Because Fritz the Cat is
definitely better.
I can remember the plot. I
remember a lot of things still.
I remember a lot of, like, actually meaningful and, like, insightful commentary in that movie. It's not, like, the best thing ever made, but I genuinely think it is his best movie. And it's just his first.
Wizards clears.
Okay. Eventually, I'll like learn to like that one. I really love aspects of it, but I haven't like. I don't feel inclined to revisit like it as a whole. I think is all I think.
Yeah, that's right.
But like Fritz,
did you know they were planning a
like,
sequel for this?
They what?
In 2005, he said in an interview along with some hip hop group, Wu-Tang Clan, apparently.
Oh, the Wu-Tang Clan? What the fuck?
Yeah, and some producer called Albert Ruddy were planning on producing a sequel.
That was
the Coonskin.
That was like post Cool World. Why was he thinking of doing that? That's weird.
To come back full circle.
I mean, he did make that like
Wasn't hip hop popular in 2005? I don't know. I was
Ku Klux.
I was like a year old.
Wait, no, I say Ku Klux. I mean, fuck. I can't say that. Shit. But yeah, the Wu-Tang Clan, they were like very popular like back then, so that's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. Besides like Cool World, after that, that was like the biggest failure of his career. He like barely scraped by it like before then. So like having that massive failure.
He never made a film after Cool World, I think, from what I've seen. Anyway.
Well, he did make Cool and the Crazy, but that's like a TV movie.
Yeah.
Doesn't
count.
He did make an HBO series, Spicy World. I don't know what that is.
I thought you said Spice World for a minute.
Oh wait, shit.
Yeah.
It was Spice City. That's what I meant.
Yeah. I think I actually looked into that. I was gonna watch it, but
yeah, I want to get to that eventually. But that's weird and interesting. Yeah, it's HBO. It lasted for 1 season and 6 episodes. That looks cool.
Yeah, 6 episodes.
I'm fascinated by that, but like
we should do a BoJack watch party of it.
I mean, it is 6 episodes. It is 6 episodes.
It's possible. Aren't they like 20 minutes long? I believe. Or at least that's what I saw. So.
6 times 20. That's
It's like
120.
It's like 3 hours.
No, like around. No, like 2 hours and 30 minutes. Yeah. That's cool with me. We'll get to that.
As long as Revenge of the Fallen.
See, even like though I'm well versed and I've like seen interviews, I've seen documentaries about Bakshi. This man still fascinates me to this day, and I still haven't seen some of his work.
I wonder if there's behind the scenes of Coonskin. Cause
I
did that with Bayformers, but I didn't watch any like behind the scenes of this movie, so I did very last minute.
Cause I think this is one of the Bakshi films that does not have a Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure. No, I think it does.
Don't ask why, but I was gonna buy this, and there was only DVDs. So.
Wait, really? No, cause I swear, I feel like I've seen like a Coonskin Blu-ray out there.
Somewhere. Maybe, but I think it's like the Mario movie where it's like Europe or whatever. There's not one in like America.
Oh, there is.
I don't know.
Wait, let me see here. So did Vinegar Syndrome like get one? Okay, no, there hasn't been any news on it. God damn it.
Damn it.
But yeah,
I'll be the first to buy the 4K. That's for sure.
Oof. I don't know if we get a 4K, but that'd be funny. Like just.
I'll like make a petition to have a 4K. Why not?
I mean, first the cat has a Blu-ray. The next step is a 4K of that bathtub scene. That sounds great. But yeah, like, I don't know. I'd rather just talk about Bakshi in general, cause I don't know. Coonskin, I see the appeal, but I don't really care that much about Coonskin.
Yeah.
And that kind of makes me sad, but...
Because this was my first film of his. Was it, like, your third, I assume? Because I assume you went, like, in order.
Oh, I went out of order, because I first watched Fritz, then I watched Fire and Ice, I think, and then I went back to the older films. That was a weird time.
Yeah.
I should have done
my first one was just this, actually, so...
Yeah, like, I don't know, as an introduction to Bakshi, I don't know how it worked for you. For most people, it would probably like keep them away from him more likely.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It has like a 3.5 on Letterboxd, so I assume like
people like
actually like it. Yeah, a lot of people like it.
That's weird.
Now all of a sudden, people are saying Coonskin is good. What the fuck happened?
No, but like I don't understand because it's like I get like it's cool. It's like a weird movie, but
Cool Skin.
There's better, like, Bakshi movies. There's popular ones that are better than this. Like, Cool World is way more interesting than this movie, and that movie fucking sucks.
Oh yeah, it looks very interesting.
Yeah, it's such a stupid movie.
Especially because Chaos said it was like his biggest guilty pleasure. I'm pretty sure. So I gotta look into that.
If Chaos Beetle Frontiers enjoys that, he'll like the rest of Bakshi's movies.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm surprised he hasn't seen much of it. I'm pretty sure, besides Wizards.
It's weird. Everyone knows about like Cool World, like Wizards and like Fritz, but no one's ever talked about like American Pop. That one's really good. Like genuinely, that's like.
Oh yeah, I checked. That's his highest rating. I'm pretty sure it's the only one that has like above a 7 on IMDb.
That's crazy, cause like, man, this sometimes Bakshi can be really good, but this is like at his most like obvious for me, because I think he can genuinely create great commentary and meaningful messages, but this one just throws a bunch of symbols at you, a bunch of talk about how racism is like ruining America, but like.
It's like My Black Panther, though.
Yeah, there's a ton of like things happening, but I never get to know about any of these people. All I know is that they're trashy and they're just
There is
stupid.
so much shit going on in this movie. It's kind of hard to keep track of it.
It's really hard to keep track of it because they don't want to follow a structure at all. It's crazy.
Definitely not.
And yeah, I think we're just kind of repeating words now, cause like.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know, Coonskin, I find it fine. I kind of want to just forget about it, and if I ever own any Bakshi movies, this will not be on top priority. Cause man, I mean, if you get it, I'll be happy for you. I'm happy you enjoy
I might
Coonskin.
buy it. I don't know. Yeah, I do really enjoy it a lot.
Man.
Enjoyment-wise, this is like my second favorite, but like out of all the ones I've seen, this is definitely probably his worst. Maybe.
Yeah, it is his worst. One of his worst.
Because I've only seen Hey Good Looking, Frisk the Cat, and what's it called, Wizards too. So
yeah, I consider
much,
like I guess Hey Good Looking worse, but that's like it's Hey Good Looking. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, exactly.
Have you heard about like what happened behind the scenes on like Hey Good Looking?
I read like a bit of your review, but not really. Only that they kept it in like a vault or something.
Yeah, what happened is so the original film was originally going to use a lot of rotoscope, like seen in Wizards, if you remember that, when they just like traced Nazi footage.
Oh god, yeah.
That's so funny. But like, there was apparently the original cut of this movie was an entirely different thing that mixed like live action and like animated, like fully. The actual first time like something like that actually got released for Bakshi was like Lord of the Rings, or like Wizards, but like,
that one looks kind of lame. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, this was made like before a lot of his movies. I think this was made before Coonskin. I think it was after Heavy Traffic, but he was like making this movie, and he went so over budget that Warner Brothers took a look at the cut, and they were like, "This is unreleasable," and they just put it in the vault.
Really?
Yeah, that's what happened.
It's like more tame than Coonskin, honestly. It's one of his tamer films.
No, but that's like this is the cut we never saw, so we don't even know what this cut entails.
Oh, okay. Now I get
Yeah, no, this cut, we don't know what the fuck it is, but all I know is that it involved like rotoscoping a lot, and I have no idea like what the actual film would look like. But this lame like second cut that was released sucks, cause it's
it's very lame.
You have like all
I enjoy it, but it's lame.
You like all the Bakshi signatures, like all the fucking gang members. You know, Dirty New York. You got the liberals. You got the right wings, the left wings. All the political.
You got the voice actress of Miss America again.
You got it satirizing like a period of America. It has all the like things that can make it like a really good Bakshi movie, but it like does the things that it's supposed to, but not in the entertaining way. They're just it's like having the motions of a Bakshi movie without actually understanding what it is, which is weird.
It's like one of the weaker Bay movies, like 13 Hours or what's it called? The Island, I think.
The Island, yeah.
It's like you have the things there, but
but you don't have the Bayisms. You don't have the Bayhem.
Exactly.
Like what the fuck happened? Yeah, and Hey Good Looking is just like doing the things it's supposed to. That's all it's doing. And for a movie that was in like production hell for so long, it feels half-assed. So that sucks.
Yeah.
And man, Bakshi can make entertaining movies. Like, man,
Very. Yeah.
I know we've like discussed like the bad ones for me, but like Wizards is really entertaining sometimes.
Yeah, that's why it's my favorite. Like, it's both like really good, but also like just like pure insanity, kind of like Coonskin in a way.
I'm glad you changed your name, you son of a bitch. It's so good.
Yeah.
Man. And you know, Wizards is just a bunch of nonsense. There's Nazis in it, and like it mixes. It's a weird mix of like sci-fi, fantasy, and like modern times. And I know it's like commentating on something, but I can never pin down on like Wizards. Wizards is such a fucking weird movie. I'd really like to revisit it sometime.
Yeah, you should though, because it's actually so much fun.
Yeah,
like, more fun than this, I think, actually.
Yeah, and then Fritz, I've solidified my opinion. That one's my favorite of his.
Yeah.
And
well, you're kind of biased there.
Well, no, I mean, there's more to it than the bathtub scene.
Okay, fair enough.
Plus the sequel sucks, so yeah. Yeah, the 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat. Don't watch that one.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a sequel to Fritz the Cat.
Oh, did you not know about this? So basically,
no.
The original creator of Fritz the Cat, the comic, because you know that's not actually like Bakshi's like property. Bakshi basically.
Really?
Yeah. No. The story goes is Bakshi asked to like use his licensing to like make the first movie, and I forget his name, but his last name is Crumb, and there's like a documentary on him that's like in the Criterion Collection. But yeah, that author, he just let Bakshi run loose with Fritz the Cat, and the final product was so appalling to him that he like resented it. Cause another thing was that Bakshi didn't allow, you know, the creator of Fritz the Cat to be involved in the production, so that made him even more pissed. He basically, it's kind of like when John Woo was left out of the editing room for Mission Impossible 2, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I mean, did that look like a movie Crumb would approve? No!
But yeah, so like, the Crumb just basically was left out, and he was like super pissed, and he said, "This is not what Fritz the Cat is." So I'm kind of wondering what the hell the Fritz the Cat comic is
It's
like.
a disgrace to the comic book.
Yeah, I wonder if the comic is worse than the movie. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, like, he went around and workshopped the sequel, and he got this guy, Robert J. Taylor, to direct this 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat. And it looks like Fritz the Cat somewhat, but it doesn't have the weird backgrounds. It doesn't feel as dirty, and it's
basically just soulless.
And it's also juvenile. Because I know Bakshi can be a juvenile man. I mean, look at Coonskin. Like, that movie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Or just most of his films.
Yeah, most of his films are trippy. They're kind of just
very
immature, unprofessional. But his first film, he really tried to, like, add a dramatic element to it. So then once you see, like, 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat, and you see, like, oh, it's Fritz the Cat. He's doing all the dirty things. He has a wife who tells him, "Why aren't you helping around the household?" But like, what else? And at the end, he just goes to space or some shit. It's like so stupid.
They're doing the space thing, like the second sequel.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that FNAF joke where it's like FNAF 69, Freddy in space. Like, quite literally.
Or just like Leprechaun and Jason, they all go to space.
Yeah, they all go to space. So yeah, I guess you could say Fritz fits in line with everyone else. He goes to space.
It's like going from like the first Friday 13th to like Jason X. Like, what?
Like, I don't understand how the
weird.
fuck that happened. But yeah, 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat sucks. Don't watch it. It's a bad sequel.
I just added to my watch list.
God damn it. But yeah, man. Okay, now we're just getting into Bakshi in general, but I'd rather just talk about Bakshi.
Yeah, I think I don't have much else to say, because I haven't seen many of his films, but I definitely do want to eventually.
I definitely recommend a lot of his movies. You know, American Pop is like great, and
yeah, I heard that's like his actual like good film.
Yeah, I think I generally like really like that one as well. And there's there's Cool World, which I think you should check out.
I definitely do want to, actually, more than the others.
Because I know, like, it's, like, the worst one, but also, it's the weirdest one.
Oh.
Not in, like, the boring
and to
way.
think I thought... And to think that I thought, Coonskin was the weirdest one.
Yeah, Coonskin, like, and, like...
looks tame in comparison, I guess.
No, they kind of are around the same level, where they're just kind of, like, going along with the gist. There's, like, a good concept in there, but they just kind of go nowhere with it. It's really weird. But, yeah. That's Bakshi for you. He directed a bunch of movies on the cheap, and could barely make any of his budget back, and basically relied on First the Cat to make more movies. And if we're gonna get into films like his Lord of the Rings unofficial trilogy made by, like, two different directors.
Those look kind of... That movie, that Lord of the Rings one, it does look kind of boring, though.
Okay, for some reason, Warner Brothers for some reason tried to pair the Bakshi movie with a completely unrelated Hobbit movie. You know, the Rankin Bass.
Like, it just feels like it sticks out so much in his filmography. You have, like, Fritz the Cat, and then you have Coonskin, and then you have Lord of the Rings. Like,
yeah,
I just can't see it working.
Like you should check out my, like, Return of the King review for, like, the animated one, because Rankin Bass and, like, Bakshi were completely separate entities, and they didn't realize that they made, like, Middle-earth films around the same time, but Warner Brothers, like, released them in a trilogy set, which confused people. So that's weird.
It also doesn't help. I've seen that Hobbit animated film, which was just fucking awful, so...
Yeah. Well,
it's
not as bad as the Peter Jackson ones. Those are terrible. Good God. But yeah, if we're gonna talk about this, like, Middle Earth, like, saga and, like, the hell production behind that, I'd recommend do you remember the YouTube channel Folding Ideas?
That sounds familiar.
You should search him up. He did a really good, like, Suicide Squad video on the editing of it, and he also did, like, a video on the Lord of the Rings Bakshi one. That's a fascinating subject. And then there's, like, his canceled Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas movie as well.
Really?
That's a thing. Originally, it was gonna be because Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is based on a book, so his adaptation would have just taken the illustrations from the book in, like, film form, so that would have been cool. But we got, like, Terry Gilliam's movie instead, so it's fine. Yeah. Bakshi was a fucking bumpy ride for everyone.
Very.
And he's made fun movies, and he's made some weird movies. Yeah. Whatever you think of him, I think he's cool. I enjoy him.
But at least he's interesting than a lot of other directors I know.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather have something, like, weird than something, like, just boring and bland, like I've seen other directors before. So.
Yeah, I'm glad you got, like, a lot out of him as a director. I'm glad you appreciate him a lot. Cause,
I thought it was just a Perry trend, but then, like, I regret not being on the trend.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
Very fun. I love fun.
I recommend you all to watch Bakshi movies. Go watch Bakshi movies. Those are fun.
Yeah.
Expand your taste a little. Go beyond animation to cinema movies like Pinocchio. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Fuck that shit. Go check out Wizards, you assholes. Man.
Stop watching Ruby Gilman.
Yeah, please stop. Please. But yeah. Speaking of weird directions for director's career, we have Last Night in Soho. Yay!
And this one is kind of special to me, right? Because this was, like, when I first got Letterboxd, at least.
Oh.
Because this was, like, what, 2021, right?
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah, so this was late 2021, and my standards were fucking weird. Because never mind. Something just fell over. But anyways, like I was saying, this was my Phantom Menace in a way, where... Oh wait, fuck, my audio stopped recording. Hang on a minute.
There was a little Spanish flea, a record star, he thought he'd be.
You were talking about, like, how you, like, joined Letterboxd and then, like, Soho.
Yeah, so I think I saw, what's it called, Baby Driver, I think, before this.
Uh-huh.
So I was obviously, like, hyped for this film like everyone else.
Yeah.
And I think I remember I gave it, like, 5 stars, which
what?
I don't get why. Yeah.
You gave Last Night in Soho 5 stars?
Yeah, I did.
Wait, no.
And I checked my second review, and my second review was like, I can't believe people said that like Black Widow is better. So I think I was just very defensive of the film at the time.
Oh, this is around your like Black Widow hate era.
Yeah, I don't know. I was a lot more hostile back then compared to now.
Wait, let me try to find this. Where's this review? I need this.
It's
Oh
like
my
my second
fucking god! Oh my fucking god! There it is.
Yeah.
There's like a 5-star review from October 2021, and then there's a 9 out of 10 from like November 2021.
Which is weird. I don't know why I saw it at 5 stars, because I remember the second time watching it, even back then, I was kind of in denial, but I remember like falling asleep to it, though it was late at night.
Oh my god, that's so funny. No, I like I like the contrast in like the 10 and 9 and then 2 out of 10. No, like 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Well, I lowered it to a 7, but like, yeah.
Oh,
I don't want to
man.
lower it too much, because I feel like if I lowered it like so much, that would just be weird. Especially with a movie I haven't seen in like a year.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's so funny. I didn't know about this. Oh my god, that's so.
Oh
so
god, my
good.
series have been weird. First, No Way Home, then Black Phone, and now this. What happened?
I don't understand how that even happened. Like I don't.
I don't know either.
I
guess because like at the time I was just, the
Yeah.
honeymoon phase pretty much.
Well, currently, how many other Edgar Wright movies have you seen?
So I've seen Baby Driver, I've seen the Cornetto trilogy, and aren't
Ooh.
those his only films? Oh,
Well,
think
I mean,
that's
there's
it, though.
Scott Pilgrim.
oh yeah, I've seen that too.
But that's all he had. He was a part of the Grindhouse thing with Tarantino and like
Oh yeah, I forgot
Rodriguez.
about that.
He was like he did like one of the fake trailers for it, but that's it. Yeah, I've seen every single Edgar Wright movie except for Baby Driver. That's all I know.
Oh, well, I think that might be my favorite of his. So
Oh man, cool.
that's interesting. Yeah.
You know, I've heard people really like that one, but
Yeah.
for me, I really like Edgar Wright as a director. I love the Cornetto trilogy a lot. I think Shaun of the Dead is the weakest somehow.
Oh, I think The World's End is the weakest for me, but it's not bad. It's just
No, I love The World's End and Hot Fuzz, but Hot Fuzz is
Yeah,
my
everyone's
favorite.
like, oh, The World's End is the best one. I'm like, I mean, it's not bad.
No, most people say like Hot Fuzz or like Shaun of the Dead's the best one, but then there's like contrarians who are like, "Oh, The World's Dead. The World's End is like the most deepest one." But yeah, no, genuinely, I
don't
really
know
like
about
that one. I really like that one, but like, and then there's Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I kind of had weird thoughts on it because I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, I really like that one too, actually. I think
But-
that might be my second favorite.
I've read volume 1 of like the comic, and to be honest, like I think that communicates how bad, like how much of an asshole Scott is compared to the movie. Like I don't know, it's always felt weird to me that like his arc was like him
There's also the
becoming
video game too.
Yeah, no, I love the
I've
video
never
game.
played.
I love the video game. It's great, but I hate the ending final boss. I hate it. Because
Oh.
it's like 5,000 stages and you have to do like multiple, and you have to somehow do that in like one try.
So it's like doing the same
There's-
thing over and over.
Yeah,
again
no,
for
there's no
certain time.
checkpoints for each like level of.
Oh,
Like,
I hate when they do that.
yeah, no, I think my one problem is just Scott Pilgrim versus the World. The game just has no checkpoints. For those who want to buy the game, be warned for that, because I fucking hate it. Oh my fucking god. It's so annoying. I have to like restart the entire fucking boss level every single time. It was so fucking annoying. But yeah, I feel like even the game communicates like how toxic of a human being like Scott Pilgrim is compared to the movie. I feel like the movie like kind of safe on it. Like I know they imply
Yeah, very safe on it.
because they imply it a lot visually, but they never make it clear as to how like Scott is actually kind of a pathetic asshole. So that sucks. And I love the style of it, but also
Style arguments.
yeah, but they don't deviate from the style sometimes to allow us to absorb the fact that Scott needs to learn that he should not be dating underage girls and then leaving them behind, and then constantly just having to fight battles for others and being pathetic. And also his girlfriend Ramona also needs to take blame for her actions. So like I feel like the movie is not just clear on that. I know it's becoming a bit of a tangent, but yeah. I don't really love Scott Pilgrim versus the World because
Point
of that.
is, his films before this were great.
Yeah, because I have Scott Pilgrim versus the World at a 6 out of 10. But besides that, I love all his films, and they have a huge fan base of people who love these movies for obvious reasons. And
And then this came out.
This came out. It was like the most hyped thing ever.
Oh yeah, even I was like, remember being like really excited for it because everyone was like, it didn't look like his film or looked like his name was slapped on. And now, back then I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? But now I definitely see how it is because like I feel like this film is way different from his others in terms of like, I feel like for like the first like hour or so, the story takes a back seat and it has like this message about London, this and that, and then the other films are packed with so much story. A lot of cool characters and everything, but here it's like, not really trying.
I know, the weird thing about this movie is it felt like the first hour was a really, really long setup. Like a really fucking long and like obvious setup for something happening. And I'm like, okay, when are we gonna get to the horror aspects that they were like advertising for this movie?
I feel like I don't know. Because does it want to be like other things too? Because I feel like the horror aspect was just tacked on last minute.
Because I know like Edgar Wright loves parodying his like favorite movies. Like Hot Fuzz is just one big parody of like Michael Bay movies, which is amazing to me.
They mentioned Bad Boys 2 as well. I love that.
Oh, I love that scene so much. It's like Bad Boys 2 or that's so fun. Yeah. And like the Cornetto trilogy just is really good at using like images and like references of other movies in order to make their own story and inform us about like how these parodies work, and it's like that's so cool. And then this movie,
even The World's End tried to do that.
Yeah, that was like a mix of like 50s B movie like alien movies and then like modern sci-fi shit. That was cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it had like a big twist to like the usual formula, and each one of them had like big twists and were really dramatic and fun and funny. They were really funny movies. And then this movie is like it mixes like psycho, like sexual, like thriller horror movies. Have you heard of those? Like Suspiria,
I think I've seen the 2018 one, but yeah.
Yeah, no, like the original 1976 one's like a psycho like horror thriller. That's like a genre.
I don't think I've seen.
Because it mixes a lot of like Europe-based movies in general. Like Dario Argento is like a Italian director, and then there's a mix of like the London setting, and then there's the whole like there's a bit of a like a Russian thing to this a bit. I don't know, it's weird. And it like mixes. It's definitely a deviation from like his references, but they feel kind of empty in this. I think that's like the problem, because you have all like the tricks, like the visual tricks of Edgar Wright.
Yeah. Like I feel like the way he uses music in his other films are just so much better done than this. Like I feel like you haven't seen Baby Driver yet, but a lot of songs.
Like
actually
no,
because
like it syncs,
because
apparently like syncs up to the movie. That sounds cool. Yeah. That sounds cool. But like this movie,
there's like a song called like Baby because of characters called Baby and whatever. They're very clever with the songs, and then here there's only like 3 songs I can probably think of that actually fit the movie that aren't just like just a song here.
See, this movie has like the snappy editing, it has like the references, but what else does it have? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, like the writing is definitely not there.
The
script is pretty sloppy.
I thought it was gonna be like a subversion of like Edgar Wright, where it like has that fast editing, but as like the movie goes on, it gets slower. But no, it just keeps throwing things at you. There's like, oh, see this character to introduce this, and I think the problem with me is just the way it's.
And then there's that
edited.
fucking twist at the end.
Oh
of, like,
god.
The main. Yeah.
Oh god. I think one of my main problems is just the way it's edited, cause like at the beginning, there's no setup. We know vaguely about her mother being dead or some shit.
Yeah, the script is the biggest problem here, because, like, I don't know, I feel like the characters in the other films are more interesting, at least.
The pacing...
But here it's like,
I don't know, the main problem is the pacing, editing, and how much the movie tells us about these characters and informs us. Because, like, oh man, this movie just doesn't understand how to set up things. That's the problem. Because you have, oh, my mother, she committed suicide, and they bring that up for, like, the first 30 minutes, and then by the end, you're like, oh, that happened? I forgot about that part. Why didn't they mention it at the end? What the hell? It's like, what the fuck?
It's like, it's so early. I'm like, you expect me to care so soon?
Yeah. And plus, the time we spent at her and her, like, grandma's house was, like, not even, like, 5 minutes, like, 2 minutes. So weird.
Yeah.
It like moves so fast, and you're already going to like London, but I get like that's the fast-paced editing of like Edgar Wright, but I feel like in the script he could have set up like small hints to it, and there's like some actually really clever editing when she's like traveling to London, like like the driveway there and the way it's shot. And the way he's like, okay, he goes like...
there's pieces there, but just really not enough. Like, I think COVID just got to him.
Yeah, like, as like she goes through that train tunnel, it darkens, and then the way it's edited, it feels like she just disappears into it. And then the way it comes out, it's just like, oh, that looks cool. And then there's the scene where she's just talking to this cabbie driver, and he's, like, talking about... And it feels like... It legit feels like when you're, like, going to, like, a different country or, like, a different city. It really feels like that when you're, like, with a taxi driver. Like, I remember I went to, like, L.A. to, like, visit around, and, like, we had this cabbie driver. It was, like, one of those, like, cheapo, like, Los Angeles, like, tour buses. And I feel like that scene, in just a minute, captures everything about that kind of experience perfectly. Because it's like telling us all about the city and all the wonders, while also having this deep cynicism for it, and it's like really interesting. And then the rest of the movie happens. It's like, okay, you're moving too fast, but not in the good way. Stop it. Like, stop. Yeah. Just stop for a moment, please. Yeah. Good God. Like, this movie just never stops fucking moving.
Actually perfect it.
Like, good God.
I feel like a Edgar Wright horror film could be really cool too, though, if it was done right as well. That's the thing.
I feel like if he like messed around with his editing and his pacing of his movies in this one, it would have worked much more.
Like, there's some stuff like at the third act that was supposed to be cool, but just like with the script, I'm like, what? What's going on?
I have no idea why it's like the
like
way
they try to set up this thing where like who's the girl that like she like I don't know connects to in the flashbacks.
What's her name? I know she has like a fake name and a real name.
Well, Anya Taylor Joy. I'm trying to think.
Anya Taylor Joy. That's
all I know. Let's just call her that.
Just call her that.
They're trying to connect.
Oh no, Sandy. That's what it was. Sandy.
Yeah, Sandy. They try to be like, oh, in the mirror it shows her actual self, and then like in reality it's.
That's a really cool visual. I like that visual.
But then there's like a scene where like she's like just like standing there in the mirror while Anya Taylor Joy is moving, and I'm like, okay, is it like a reflection? Is it like what's going on here?
I think they're trying to be intentionally vague about it, but I think it kind of is like a metaphorical like representation of how she's reflecting.
I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. When,
there's like clever motifs here. There's like the mirror, and then there's like the alarm, and it's like, oh, we're messing with time here. It's kind of like a Christopher Nolan movie.
It's like Looper.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, we're like contrasting these two different time periods, how there's like a limit between like dream and reality. There's like cool like thematic implications in this movie. Yeah. But the problem is the way the way the film was paced and edited and shot does not feel that well, not the way it's shot. There's some really good like things in terms of like shot composition, the way it's lit.
The visuals here are still really good, I think.
It has all the
that's like just a given.
Like, it has all the flashy stuff you like about Edgar Wright's
It is literally style over substance.
Quite literally. This is a style argument. I'm going to say it. The style's cool, but it doesn't inform the story in the most effective way. But the script sucks,
and there's, like, no substance, so, like...
I think the flashy editing kind of prevents us from being able to absorb everything, while also, like... The time thing is not a constant. There's no contrast between these two different time periods. There's no, like, subtle way of, like, bringing these two realities together. They just do it in the most obvious way. Like, she broke the mirror and she tries to, like, touch Anya Taylor Joy, just like how A Critic does. But it's like, okay, like, I get it. It's like they're trying to, like, cross reality, and it's like how time is almost one and the same, and how, like, we haven't really changed as a society, but they don't do it well in a visual way.
Also,
it's too flashy.
I'm just wondering, like, how did, like, I feel like it's like, you know how like the popular singer is like under a different name, right? I'm just surprised that like no one recognized her conveniently, because like she doesn't look that different, I believe. Maybe, I don't know. I just feel like there would have been a way to recognize her, but no one really does. Also,
she's lived in that same apartment for, like, her whole life, apparently.
Yeah. So I feel like someone would have at least seen her, at least at this point.
I feel like Sandy would be known for, like, being a prostitute. And like, would understand, like, wait a minute, all these men she had sex with disappeared. What the fuck happened? It's like, what? How? But how do you? So the twist basically is Sandy is the serial killer this whole time.
Yeah, she's evil.
It's like, oh, it's meant to be
So
like,
dumb.
it's meant to be a gray area where both the men and women are sucky. But like,
And then
why?
there's a part where she's like, fuck, I can't remember. I just had a thought in my head.
But yeah, no, she's like, oh, I'm being abused, and they set up this frame. But like, we don't know anything about Sandy. Why the fuck am I supposed to care?
Yeah.
Like,
I remember now. She's like, I think the main character was gonna call the police, and Sandy's like, oh, they wouldn't believe you. I'm like, even if they didn't believe her and thought she was crazy, the police always go to like your reports. What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, and then there's the fact that like, there's this like mysterious dude that like appears at the pub that she works at, and he's like, oh, I know something about Sandy. But he doesn't like
this old guy throughout the film.
But he acts so like fucking creepy, like so obviously creepy. It's like meant to set up.
He acts like Darwin. I'm not even kidding.
But like, how the fuck was I supposed to know that he was a good guy all along if you make him seem like he's an entirely different person?
Yeah.
Like,
it's subversion.
it's subversion, but not in the
It's so
logical
stupid.
way. It's not in the
Yeah.
logical way. You're telling me that this
The
dude,
script is
this,
so bad
this
here.
creepy like,
Especially for a Wright film.
yeah, no, this creepy like grandpa dude is like, oh, I know something, and he's like being so fucking vague. Stop being vague, you dumb fuck. Like,
I
she
think
thinks
COVID
it's
affected us
creepy.
more than we think, because like in the 2020s we've had like Tenet, we've had Meg, and then we've had this, who are like films from like directors just be so bad. Like,
Well, actually,
I don't know how.
I kind of like Tenet, but
don't style argument me now.
well, I won't style argument. I don't do
Fuck
any
you.
style arguments.
I'm still not over you complimenting the soundtrack of Tenet.
It's better than fuck. What's his name? Ludwig van whatever. Like that new composer for Nolan. He's great. He's much better than Hans Zimmer. I'm gonna say.
I mean, the Oppenheimer score was great.
oh,
That's
that.
off
Oh,
topic.
fuck! I love the Oppenheimer score. It's so good. But like, yeah, this movie is definitely in the category of franchises slash director making bad
Directors
things.
that make like a bad movie out of all the good films.
Yep. It's like, oh my god, no way! Edgar Wright can make a bad movie. Impossible.
Yeah.
Impossible.
It taught a lot of people that, like, no matter how good the director is, they can make something bad.
They can always make something bad, and no one will ever know it. Cause like,
Yeah.
genuinely, this is such a like a swing at the fences. Like they're really doing something different here, and I like what they're doing. But it doesn't have the effective pacing. It doesn't have the effective fucking editing. It doesn't have the effective story to make it compelling in the first place. There's quite literally nothing playful about this movie. We're messing.
Nothing, literally.
Because we're messing with time here. It's like, oh, how the old times were different, and how everything is glamorized, like the music, and how she feels like an old
Yeah.
soul. But they feel so disconnected, despite her
Yeah.
quite literally being in some scenes as a reflection.
It just feels like I feel like it's trying to be a lot of things, really.
It's trying too
like
many
a-
things with too little of a setup. And
Yeah, I think it'd be like horror, or like it's trying to go for like a horror vibe, but even then, it's not really going for it.
I know this is like nearly 2 hours, but it needs to be like 2 hours and 30 minutes if they really want to achieve the goals that they're wanting.
Yeah, maybe like 3 hours. I don't know. You're gonna have to build this up a lot.
Fucking go like Nolan, or go fucking like Ari
Yeah.
Aster. Just make a 3-hour fucking weird ass movie. I don't care.
Just
You're Edgar.
release it at the same time as Halloween Kills, so then we have Last Night in Kills. Easy.
Look, auteur, like Edgar Wright is one of the few like auteur directors who is like allowed to make big budgeted movies. So just go fucking for it. Just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You have so much power in the industry. You can just do whatever you want. And you chose to make this movie, and it feels like it's rushing through its entire story throughout the entire runtime. And all of its like time connections feel so disconnected from each other, and the reality bending doesn't really work as well. It feels like it's giving us blatant answers without setting up any mystery to it. Because they give us all these revelations, but how the fuck was I supposed to know Anya Taylor Joy was a killer?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Plus, if like these like hauntings are meant to show reality, then how come it didn't show, fucking Morbius dude / Doctor Who like killing her. Why
Yeah,
didn't they show the opposite? Because it's meant to show like reality, so that was weird.
Yeah, it's so weird. And then it shows like, I don't know. It's just so weird, like with the hallucination stuff, it just barely makes sense.
This is like the second like villain character the Morbius like Doctor Who guy plays.
Yeah.
Matt Smith, like this dude, I've heard he's like a really great Doctor Who, so I don't understand.
Would you kill me if I say that this is on par with Morbius?
Morbius is worse than this. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, okay, can you tell me that Morbius is more well directed than Last Night in Soho?
No, but
so, yeah.
I gave both a 4 out of 10. Okay, I'm trying to go with my memory here.
I mean, yeah, Morbius is like the kind of like 4 out of 10 trash, or people say it's the worst movie ever made. It's like, no.
It's worse than Phase 4. No, shut up.
No, shut up. It's really bad, but no, don't say that. You can't say that.
At least Morbius had some original ideas. Who the fuck says shit like that?
Yeah, exactly. But like, what the fuck happened? Like, okay,
Yeah.
so.
There's not even interesting trivia, honestly. That's how bad this film is.
But yeah, Matt Smith, he's so wasted in this role. This is the second villain he's played where he's fucking sucks. Like, give him better roles. I feel so bad for him. Like, he was such a wasted opportunity in this movie. And if they wanted to explore, like, both genders and their side of the story, then how come we didn't learn anything about the males besides, like, the one black dude who was...
They're evil.
Like, if you go to modern times, I hate those, like, bitchy, like, girls in, like, the college. Like, they act so overly evil that I can't sympathize with them. And it's so blatantly
Mother died
obvious.
from leukemia.
Yeah. It's
The
like, welcome
acting
to
is
the
just
dead
not
mom.
good either.
Welcome to the dead moms club. Like, who the fuck says shit like that? Like,
Yeah.
So, like, what the fuck happened? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know how either.
Because they make the message so obvious, and then they have this really nice dude, this overly nice dude, and it's like meant to be this guy who falls in love with. But I don't know anything about him. All we see him do is help and support, like, whatever her name is. I forget her name.
Yeah.
Eloise.
Oh yeah, do you know this
Whatever.
has the same IMDb rating as what's it called? The World's End, by the way.
No. I'm just gonna say no to that.
Yeah, I think I agree. I mean, back then I probably would have. Would I say this was my favorite? I don't even know, considering how my standards were.
Your standards, like,
I hope not.
We're so bad. What the fuck was that?
They were.
I don't understand
And
how.
now everyone says I'm too mean, but back then I was too nice.
Fucking Last Night in Soho 5-star. What a joke. Oh my god. That's so funny though. I don't know how that
I
happened.
think Baby Driver is still definitely my favorite though, so you need to watch that.
Yeah.
It makes me want to rewatch that, and also like Hot Fuzz and that stuff. So
Yes.
I'll do that.
This is
Wash
fun
my
movies.
taste from this.
Ooh. Yeah, this movie frustrates me more than anything, because I could see so many ways they could have, like, done this better.
Back then I would have been like, how could you hate this? But now I'm like, oh, yeah, this is definitely underwhelming.
It is...
Not good.
It's not good, and I don't think I'm that, like...
I've seen a lot of people really hate it, and I wouldn't say it's, like, awful.
It's not awful, but
not
it's a
good
poorly
either.
handled message, and a poorly handled way of... Like, it really poorly handles the way of communicating its
Like,
message.
I've seen,
and
like,
okay.
Josh and, like, Amelia give this a 2 out of 10. I'm like, it's not that bad, but, like...
It was actually a 3 out of 10 for Josh, but yeah.
Well, yeah, because I bullied him, so he raised it to a 3. So did the movie dude, I think.
Oh, of course the movie did. But yeah, like, I don't know. This movie is, like, kind of bad. I think it's easily his worst movie. And my bold take is that Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is also my second least favorite, so that's fun.
You need to rewatch it.
Yeah, that movie, I'm not sure. I leave it at a 6.
There's only one cool trivia that I found out about this movie.
Oh, what could
About
it
the
be?
scene where Ellie Rose? What? I thought it was Ellie. First sees Sandy through the mirror. It is done practically. To achieve the mirror effect, the cloakroom attendant is played by twins James Phillips and Oliver Phillips.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
Yeah, I heard
that's
about how, like,
impressive.
the mirror effects are, like, practical. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, on a technical level, They did good stuff in this movie.
Yeah, technically it's good. It's just writing-wise and everything, it's not.
Oh yeah, no, I would not compliment this movie on writing at all. Even like, I don't know, the general like visual storytelling, I'm kind of mixed on. I kind of like it and I kind of don't like it, cause I like how it looks. Like on a basic like, oh, I'm like a stupid audience member. That looks nice. There's
The style is
there's
there.
like the flashy red light because it represents like
The mirror stuff,
the mirror
all the horror stuff.
That's cool and all, but like
Yeah.
I don't care. And there's like these things that they set up visually and they try to like mix things together. But visually they don't convey like that, you know, the whole time and like reality motif. They don't do that. You're not Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. My hope is that, like Christopher Nolan, I hope his next film is just way better than this.
Yes.
He went from Tenet to Oppenheimer. Hopefully,
Oppenheimer. Oh my god, that was
hopefully
such a
Wright
weird-
has his own Oppenheimers.
That's so funny to me. It went from Tenet, like 5 out of 10 for me, and then it's like, oh yeah, right. Oppenheimer is like one of my favorite.
Yeah,
movies
Oppenheimer has actually been getting better for me.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of raising it, but I don't know. I want to rewatch it again first because it's so good.
So good. Oh man, that movie's so long, but
Yeah.
just so you know, rewatching Oppenheimer felt way more shorter than it, you know, originally was.
Well, yeah, it's actually like structured. It didn't help. Well, it actually did help that my friends kept telling me like, "Oh, there's 2 hours left. There's an hour left." So like I knew like where it was in the film.
Oh,
Thanks,
oh, that's why. Okay.
Because I went with friends. Yeah.
Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm trying to go back to these old logs. I want to find more funny logs. God damn.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, I don't really have much else here. This is just not good. Everyone said everything I've probably wanted to say. So.
Yeah, pretty much. Cause like, if I were to delve into the themes and the other stuff in this movie, it just sound like nonsense, to be honest. Cause man, there's just so many missed opportunities. I've said that like twice already. But yeah, I can imagine.
Did you learn nothing from Tenet?
Man, I forgot. See, even like people who like Edgar Wright don't like this movie. I think that's fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's still people that do like love the film. Like Mr. Bamison has that at 8 out of 10.
Apparently, a critic likes it, but it hasn't been a while for him.
Yeah, I think most people that like it just haven't seen it since it came out. So.
If
You know, it's the honeymoon phase, a new Edgar Wright film. Of course, people are gonna be hyped. I was, cause
yeah.
I think the year before I only really saw Shaun of the Dead, but that was kind of it. I saw his other films like that same year, really.
Ah, I see. See, if my brain was on autopilot, I would like this movie, cause like it doesn't feel bad, but it's kind of like fast food where it has all the sugary stuff that you want from like an Edgar Wright movie, but like it's cooked really bad. Like the meat is like pink and it's like still has blood in it, and it's kind of shit.
It's very rough.
It's a very rough movie. I wish I could care more about it. But even as someone who really likes Edgar Wright, I don't have the passion nor the anger to really give a shit.
Yeah, it's just miserable.
It's miserable that the fact that, you know, most directors, they can never have a consistent run of movies, which sucks.
They can have an okay film. They can have, you know, a film that's lesser than the others. But when it's a bad one, oh boy.
Oh boy. Especially when you got the like reputation where you're like, oh my god, I love this movie. And then just like, as you go down the filmography, you just have that one really bad one, and that sucks.
Yeah. Like I said, this is kind of like Coonskin. They both focus on messages a lot of the time.
Yeah, pretty much. What the fuck? You had Saw at 5 stars? What?
And like you said, like Coonskin is one of the weaker Bakshi films. This is one of the weaker Edgar films. It's literally like Coonskin.
Did you say Basky? It's a movie, dude.
Shut up.
Yeah. This is I think this is kind of fitting because we got two of what's considered one of the weakest parts of director's filmography.
Yeah.
Except one is like Praised to Hell by Film Bros and the other's Ralph
Yeah.
Bakshi.
Yeah.
But yeah, both these guys I love a lot. I appreciate them.
Just do better next time. Make a movie next time.
Make a movie next time, yeah. Oh, for How I Wish. It's kind of like how people feel about Spielberg, where they're like, I like him, then I don't like him, and then I like him.
Yeah.
For How
You
I
go
Wish.
from Ready Player One to The Fablemans, just like that.
Oh, that's so funny to me. You have like,
Okay.
you have probably one of the fucking strangest directions for a director's film career, and then you have probably the most fitting movie of his career, because you have
Yeah.
Fablemans. That's a really good movie.
Yeah. And then you have a headache-inducing movie.
Apparently, The Post.
I know a headache, but
People say, The Post is mid, but then Silent Dawn has it at like 10 out of 10. I don't know what's going on anymore.
he's a strange guy.
He's a strange man. Although he did think Last Night in Soho was mid, so I don't know
Yeah.
what that says
Back
about
then, I probably would have been mad, but now I'm like, he's got a point. Like you saw my review, I was like kind of confused because like Black Widow got more appreciation at the time than this film, and I was like, what the fuck happened?
Wait, you mean to tell me Silent Dawn found one of your reviews?
Maybe.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Oh wait, no. You know what? I think on his No Way Home review, I actually did comment something back when I was like an avid fan, but
Oh, what did
don't look
he
at
say?
it. Yeah, I actually commented on it. And I was
Wait,
like,
hold on. Let's stop all the momentum of this podcast episode for a moment just to look under Silent Dawn's
alright.
Spider-Man No Way Home review. Okay.
I think I fought with people too, maybe? I can't remember.
You have a Dayness 2 out of 10 or was it half star now?
No, I have it at a 3 now. I raised it.
3 out of 10.
I don't know. I feel like I'm considering raising Doctor Strange as well, actually. Which is ironic considering that movie caused style arguments. Because, like a 2 out of 10 is, like, insulting. And I feel like Doctor Strange
Okay, I'm
isn't that
seeing-
insulting. I just hate it.
Okay. I see a bunch of blocked member comments from Silent Dawn's review. Where are you, Dayness? Okay, I see a guy named Michael. Fuck.
That's my name.
Wait, are you the blocked user? I don't see you here.
No, because I follow him still, so...
Oh wait,
I can't be-
do you mean like Far From Home?
No Way Home. That's what it was.
Are you sure? Cause I don't see it here.
Yes, I am absolutely sure.
Okay, let me read down
I
the.
feel like I commented at least like once or so. I'll search it up actually.
No, I'm looking at this. This is not. What? Am I like? I'm confused, man. I'm confused. So,
Okay, I'm gonna try to find it.
cause I swear to God, I want to believe you, but I don't see it here. What the fuck?
Oh, okay, yeah. See, I found my comment.
Oh, what
Okay,
did you say?
I'll show it to you right now.
What did you say?
I said, guys, chill. He gave The Last Airbender a 72. We're all pretty unique.
Oh, never mind. I see the comment.
I mean, I wasn't wrong, but
Yeah. Man. Like,
I'm still an asshole back then. Okay.
that was a year ago. Damn.
I think I even muted the comment section because I was just getting annoyed. Everyone was like, it's nostalgia bait. Back then I was in denial, but now I'm like, you're goddamn right, Silent Dawn. It is a 45.
You'll never get that rating.
It's
out
funny,
of me.
this and Last Night Soul both came out in 2021, and I probably called both of them like my favorite of the year, and now
Times have changed. Times have
yeah,
changed.
they're not good, especially No Way Home. But
It's kind of like my Doctor Strange 2 7 out of 10, you know?
yeah,
It's times
Edgar Wright is
times have
back
changed.
as if he never fucking left.
See, someday I'll release that review again. That'd be funny. Someday.
But yeah, we're kind of just going off topic at this point.
I mean, yeah. Coonskin, we didn't have a lot to say, and
Yeah,
Last Night
Coonskin,
Soho.
for my rating for that, my unironic rating, it would be like a 4 or a 5 out of 10, by the way. Just give it out there.
Ooh! Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you'd give it like a 6 at least.
No,
'Cause you
I
enjoyed
was
it that much.
considering it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I enjoyed it, but at the same time, it's so deranged in like a lot of bad ways. But I love how deranged it is at the same time. So like,
Yeah. But yeah,
I can't explain it.
so your rating for Coonskin is a 4 or 5 out of 10, and your Last Night in
Yeah.
Soho rating is a 4 out of 10.
Also, yep. So
Wow.
they're almost on par with each other.
They're both disappointing movies for different reasons. Entirely.
Yep. Oh, I will say, Coonskin at least has Miss America. What does Last Night in Soho have? Besides, I know critics will be like, oh,
Anya Taylor Joy
is in it.
Yeah.
But watch Coonskin and get back to me, okay?
Yeah, there's movies where Anya Taylor Joy is more hot than this.
Yeah, oh yeah. New Mutants isn't one of them, but...
Oh, ew, I hate that haircut she has in that one. That sucks.
That movie's just fucking awful.
You know it's bad when a critic gave it a half star.
Yeah, I mean, it's well deserved.
It is well deserved, probably. But yeah, see, I know we're going off topic, but you know this is your episode, so you can do whatever you want, except say the N word. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, cause man, I probably should have brought you on for Bayformers, but also
Yeah, I
You
was
already
also
did
on
that.
Bayformers earlier.
you already did that on the Campy
And then
Cast.
Hal wants me for Bayformers.
Ooh,
Like once that time comes, yeah.
that'd be fun. See, I'm like the dumps. We like to go for different shit, so I brought you on for like
Yeah.
the most random shit possible.
Maybe like a different Michael Bay movie though, because that wouldn't be bad with me.
The Island podcast.
Maybe you know what? Maybe G.I. Joe.
Ooh. That'd be
And if
fun.
you've seen the new Rise of the Breast movie, then you know why I said G.I. Joe.
Oh. Oh yeah, well, no, I heard that like they.
Yeah, they
did,
connected G.I. Joe.
Like, yeah, because that was like the original thing for Bayformers too, so that's funny.
Yeah.
Ugh. I should watch Rise of the Beast. I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
The first movie is better.
Hmm?
Silver and A Critic and The Movie Dude and Josh, you are all wrong. You are all wrong. I'll just say that much.
Yeah, you know, Rise of the Beast, I bet is fucking stupid as shit. But like people
It
are
is,
just
but
like,
it's fun.
but it's at least it's not Michael Bay. Like shut the fuck up. It's,
At least Rise of the Beast has some original ideas. Who the fuck says shit like this?
yeah.
Having Maximals isn't enough to make a movie good. And the first Bayformers was good without having any Maximals.
Speaking of Kazuna, I wonder what he'd rate Last Night in Soho. He'd give it like
He'd give it a
8
7 out of 10.
it's either a 7 or 8 out of 10. So he'd be like, there's a bit of mixed ideas, and you know the plot twist is kind of
Yeah.
stupid, but you know overall 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
It'd be like what? It'd make no
A lot
sense.
of people are hating it for some pretty dumb reasons.
Oh wait, now I'm imagining Kazuna Bakshi reigns. That sounds funny. Cause
What would Cosmo think of Coonskin?
no, cause I remember in his like Hobbit his like Lord of the Rings trilogy video, he was like his opening joke was like a really long and also kind of like he sounded really mad, but he was like talking about the Lord of the Rings 1978 by Ralph Bakshi for like 10 minutes. And he sounded really mad at it. He said he was basically nitpicking it to hell and back. And yeah, I guess that was
that's
criticism.
more of a reason not to watch the Lord of the Rings 1978.
Yeah, no, he started nitpicking it, and he does have some valid critiques of it. That movie sucks, but also he's
Yeah, it looks boring bad though. Like it doesn't even have the Basky am I even saying it right?
Bakshi.
Bakshi.
Damn, it's a movie, dude.
It's like shut up. But does it even have that like type of stuff or no?
it
'Cause
doesn't.
It doesn't
have,
look like it does.
It's his most serious movie, which sucks. It
Yeah.
sucks the life out of everything.
It's
trust-
kind of like
trust me.
some like Bay's.
If you're like a Tolkien head or even just a Lord of the Rings movie trilogy head, you'll be so confused by the way they adapted it back in '78. It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's a weird movie. I'd recommend watching it, but also at the same
I'll just
time,
watch it while I'm gaming. It's probably boring.
but also videos. Unironically, videos about the Lord of the Rings Bakshi movie are more entertaining than this. The Wikipedia page is more entertaining than the fucking movie. Like, Jesus Christ.
Maybe I'll just watch the first 10 minutes of that Cosmonaut video.
You know what, you should, cause that...
And then I'll just,
No, cause that's so funny. He's, like, so mad about, like, how, like... It's not accurate!
Was he madder than like the prequel video?
Yeah, he was like, that's how you say Saruman? He's like, no, that's not how it works. And he's like so pissed about it. It's amazing. I love it. You should watch it. You're like a consonant head. You gotta watch it. It's funny.
Yeah, I have to watch it now.
You have to watch it. It's so funny. I wish he did more stuff like that. That was so good. But yeah, unironically, that was the most I was entertained by Kazat since like pre-pandemic. That's funny. Yeah, good.
I can't watch them the same anymore, right?
I can't do it anymore because
I used to like get by and be like, okay, at least I'm entertained, but now I get brain.
I think the last time I watched
like Marvel takes.
Last time I watched one of his videos was either like the Batman quickie or the video after that, cause that was a weird time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's it.
I guess that's it. I'd say that this is a pretty successful whirl around with you. I know this one's kind of shorter because I got.
Yeah, and I didn't really talk much either compared to like the Bayformers episode because I didn't have as much stuff to say.
I kind of said a lot. I kind of overtook you. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I think it was fun. I'd say based on the style meter. But yeah. Having to go from a 2 hour to from like a 1 hour to a 2 hour to like a 4 hour.
It says right here, as it's still recording, it says like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah. So this is longer than the last one, which is the Lynch one, if you haven't checked that one out. And so yeah, I think that works. I think both these movies are quite lovely to talk about.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Just watch Wizards, Coonskin, and Fritz the Cat. That's all I can say.
Lesson here is go watch Bakshi movies and
also watch Baby Driver because it's amazing.
And yeah, and Scott Pilgrim is mid as fuck. You're all lying to each other. Fuck you. Goodbye.
Now all of a sudden Scott Pilgrim is mid? What the fuck happened?
I do really need to rewatch that. But yeah, that was the dumps. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you, Dayness, for coming on and for sort of talking. And I hope you enjoyed me rambling, and I hope I enjoyed you rambling for some parts of this.
Yeah.
That's fun.
You know a lot more than I do on like fuck, I can't say the name.
Bakshi.
Bakshi.
Yeah, that's how you say it. Bakshi.
Baski.
Oh, you. What the fuck?
I don't know. I give up.
Alright.
I'll just say Ralph. It's like Ralph the Movie Maker.
Any final words?
No idea. I'll look up a Coonskin quote.
Oh.
Shut your stupid mouth! Money, stupid! We take money, not blowjobs!
That's me.
The Mafia takes money! Remember us, we're the Mafia!
That's you in the movie, dude. Classic. Goodbye. Bye, guys.